Thank you for allowing us to get that so that our speakers are comfortable because they're going to be talking for about an hour, hour and a half. So we want them to be able to get to their notes and be organized and all those kind of things. So my name is Cindy Cummings. I'm one of the founders of LT Senior Services, and LT Senior Services is a nonprofit, and our purpose is to help older adults in the Lake Travis area. And one of the things that we do are events like this, and we've held these events. Gosh, we used to be at different locations. Now our partner is the library. We're so happy to have the library helping us. They are awesome. And we also hold other events. We are going to be having the Aging Well Expo. The Aging Well Expo will be at the end of September. We will have a plethora of exhibitors there that will help us in getting knowledge to us about ways to live healthy, ways to improve your life. And we'll have some speakers from Baylor Scott and White. We also have Dr. Mark Carlson coming to talk. We'll be talking about new changes in Medicare. So we're really excited for that. In addition, we have a really fun event. We are going to have a homecoming social. And we've received funding from Lake Travis Crisis. Lake Travis, I'm looking at now. Ladies of Charity. Thank you, Ladies of Charity. Sorry about that. And they gave us funding for this event. It's going to be held at the Activity Center. We're super excited about it. We have something fun that we're going to be doing that one of our members is going to describe to us, one of the projects that we're going to be holding on that day. But anyway, we're super excited to have you here today, and we do have 40 members of LT Senior Services. We're going to have each of those members come up and just introduce themselves just real quickly, 30 seconds or less. And all right.
Hi everyone, my name is Sahida. I am a professional organizer and own Decluttering. I help people reduce clutter caused anxiety by helping them get and stay organized. That also means that I design systems for you to stay organized in the longer run. I am a member of National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals, and this year I am the president of the Austin chapter as well. And I'm quite excited about that. So the interesting thing that we are doing, as Cindy announced, that we have a homecoming social, which is on September 23rd. You will have more details on this booklet that you can collect from here. And I am putting a slideshow together for all of you. So I request you all to submit some high school or college photos with dress in your color or the all the pictures that you can, if you have any, do send it to us or to Cindy or to Natalie. So it would be nice to have you all there. Yeah, thank you.
And what we're going to do with the pictures is do a slideshow. And so your picture will be up there and hopefully the name of your school. And what we're hoping is people will find that they went to the same schools. I know I'm a Beaver. I went to Oregon State. Anybody go to Oregon State? It's not very likely, but hopeful because everybody loves their school. So thank you for doing that project. Also, you can bring your pictures to the next meeting and we'll take a copy of it at that meeting. So you don't have to drop them off. If you bring them to our upcoming events, we'll go ahead and make copies of them then. So thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Karen Scott of the Lake Travis Community Library. I am so thankful for Cindy and Natalie and Lake Travis Senior Services for being here. We have some calendars for July and August events happening at the library, and I also wanted to mention our home delivery service. So we will deliver a month's worth of library materials to somebody who is unable to leave their house for whatever reason. And if you're interested in that, feel free to talk to me. We have brochures up here as well, or come find one of us at the desk. Thanks. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Scott Gidley, and I am a proud long-term member of the Lake Travis Senior Services Organization, and I thank Cindy for asking me to become a member when she formed this entity several years ago. So thank you, and certainly we thank you all for attending. My wife and I are long-term residents of Lakeway. We've raised our two children here, graduated from the high school, and actually teach in the LTISD. My wife's a recently retired banking executive from Independent Bank, and I've been a financial services professional here in Central Texas for about 40 years. 10 years ago, I created an entity called Charitable Financial Partners, which is an entity dedicated to insurance sales. And one of the interesting things about the Department of Insurance is that I can make a reasonable donation of a certain percentage of commissions that I make on insurance sales to local charities. So my wife and I sit down annually and we make donations to local charities based on insurance commissions I make. One of my specialties is I'm an independent insurance agent, helping people with their Medicare insurance planning. I am certified and licensed with probably over 10 companies, I can offer over 150 different products when it comes to your Medicare insurance planning. I promise you, I never try to sell you anything. I take a consultative and educational approach to what I do. So if ever I can help any of you, please reach out to me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. I forgot to mention that our talk in August is going to be on heart health risk and treatments. And we have a doctor coming from Baylor Scott and White. So we hope that you'll come to that also. So now I'm going to read the bios of our speakers. I'm going to pull this out. Okay. We're just going with the flow here. Let me tell you about our wonderful speakers today. Randy Lyman is a certified professional organizer in chronic disorganization. She founded a Helping Hand in 2001. She offers residential hands-on and virtual organizing services for people with diverse organizing challenges, whether those challenges are mild, moderate, or severe. Randy has been recognized as a leader in her industry and was named one of the 2002 top professional organizers by expertise.com. She has been active and has held board positions in both professional associations, NAPO, National Association of Productivity and Organizing Professionals, and ICP, Institute for Challenging Disorganization. So she works closely with mental health professionals as well as local and state agencies. She offers her clients a collaborative approach to creating lasting clever. And you can reach her at a Helping Hand and I would say helpinghandforyou.com or call 512-569-4813. Carol's in the middle, and she's a professional organizer. The name of her company is called A. Jones for Organizing. Carol Jones of A. Jones for Organizing began her business in 2009. She specializes in closet design, kitchen efficiency, garage organization, and paper management. Carol helps people with decluttering, managing their belongings, and setting up personalized organizing systems in their home. A Jones for Organizing is one of expertise.com top home organizers in Austin. Carol's an active member of NAPO, and I don't even have to say it again. It's already said it once, and I don't want to say the organizational. So Julie is at the very end, and the name of her company is designed by Juju Bees. That's awesome. Julie is a former tech executive. She founded Designs by Juju Bees LLC in 2017. Designs by Juju Bees provides organizing, downsizing, relocation, and design services for both residential and commercial clients in the Central Texas area. She's a member and has received SMM-C certification via the National Association of Senior and Specialty Move Management Association, or NASM. As a certified NASM company, one of their specialties is helping older adults and their families with the process of downsizing. Whether you're moving to a new residence or aging in place, BBJ is also a member of NAPO of Austin, and you can check out her website at jujubees.com for more information about her services. Oh, that was a mouthful.
Yes.
I think it's good for people to understand sometimes and your backgrounds, and so it's really helpful as we go through today. So these are our organizers. They're very organized, as you can see, and they have an organized list of questions. So our format for today is I'm going to ask them some questions, but we're going to leave time at the very end for y'all to ask questions too. We don't want to just have them be talking up here. If you have something really very specific, you might want to stay afterwards. They'll stay afterwards and they can answer a question. But if it's something in general that everybody else would enjoy learning, please ask that question. So we have already shared your names, your organizations, your job descriptions.
Yes.
Agreed? On to number 2.
Yes.
Okay. Let's assume that someone is really excited, wink, wink, about the decluttering process, and they want to do it on their own. what are some areas they may start with? And Randy, we're gonna start with you.
Okay, oh, and, okay, FYI, I'm a mic.
Good.
Almost to your mouth.
Okay, okay,
And our audience will tell you if they can hear you or not, so.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the first thing that I do with my clients, when they call me up, I do an initial assessment, is I'll ask them, where would you like to start? And they'll say whatever they say. But their challenge is, where do I start? And they'll say, Randy, I'm frozen. I don't know what to do. Oh, here you go. Here's my voice.
Yes.
Okay, I don't know what to do. I'm stressed out. I'm beside myself. So they'll be frozen. They'll have challenges such as, you know, just disorganization of sometimes a huge magnitude. So, you know, I'll say what she knows. So the question is where to start.
Yes.
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I always like to ask.
Oh, so they can't see you. That's how we like that stool.
Oh.
They want I standing up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I can do that. As long as I get to sit down again. So one of the first things that I ask my clients, even when I've talked to them on the phone before, when I come to their house, I ask them, what's bothering you the most? Because everybody has something that's bothering them the most. It might be their garage or their kitchen or their office or the kids' rooms or whatever. So much more to say.
There is. All you have to do is just, yeah. And that's why we're all here. These three people have different
Perspectives and different ways that they handle things. And that's what's lovely is you're gonna hear from 3 different people. So your turn.
Sure. Good morning. So with clients with older adults, one of the things before I start just jumping in, just like Carol's already said, and Randy, it's where to begin. And that just brings a lot of overwhelming feelings, just talking about where to begin. So what I like to do, because when we're in your house we're organizing, we're dealing with intimate things. We're dealing with emotions. We're dealing with, memories and stories. So, and they don't know me. They have no clue of who I am. If I'm working, if you choose to be working with an organizer. So one of the things I always try to do after we've had a, sit down discussion is try to find a place that doesn't have emotional ties or memories. So guess what? I start with a spice cabinet. You really can't get too upset if you start with a spice cabinet. So that's, if you choose just to do it yourself, so you're not contemplating stories. And so you can feel a sense of accomplishment. Go through your spice cabinet, go through and see what's expired, what spice you haven't obviously used in the last 6 months. And within an hour, you've completed your first task.
So I'm gonna chime in here too, because I have a little bit of background on this. I always try to choose the easiest room, just kind of like you're saying. So a guest bedroom is great, because normally you just have linens and pillows and things like that. So again, don't start with the office. You start with the office, you're not gonna get anywhere. Just start with the easiest room. That's kind of what I like to do. Based on your experience, what are some of the challenges or obstacles people face when trying to declutter? And we're gonna start with Julie first on this one. So what are some of the challenges when people are trying to declutter?
So some of the challenges is that they don't have a timeline. They don't have a plan. They're just looking at, and again, it's kind of like similar to our first question on where to begin. It's just overwhelming. So when I start and working with a client, they call me the tape lady. So I come in with multiple tapes, but I also have a board on the wall that says, okay, green is for recycling, red is for trash, purple is for donation, blue is for giving to a family or friend, and then orange is to keep. And so we go around and we have one of these boards in every single room, including the garage, and we tape. That's one of the first things that we do is we go and we tape everything. And again, a sense of accomplishment, just understanding where things are going. And we try not to have a maybe pile. The maybe piles, if that's larger at the end of the day than all your others, then we've got to start over.
So what are some of the challenges and obstacles when somebody starts this whole process?
Obstacles and challenges. One is that sometimes people feel a little guilty about getting rid of things. You know, like, oh, my Aunt Matilda gave me that painting and I really love Aunt Matilda, but I really don't love that painting and I don't have room for it. But she gave it to me because she loves me and I love her. What do I do with it? And so one of the things I do as a professional organizer is I sort of make a joke that I, as your professional organizer, give you official permission to let that item go, right? And they can sort of, shift the blame to me. I'm happy to take the blame. And once they start doing that, it helps to, okay, all right, the painting is not the person. The object is not the person. My memory of her is what's important, not the object, right?
So in that vein, I have clients that they have made piles. I call them marinade piles. So if it's, because I love to marinate chicken. So if my clients can't decide, because my clients have a really, really hard time making decisions. So having something like a maybe pile is a little more gentle because they're not moving. A lot of times they're not moving.
Right.
And there are times when they have to move because they're being thrown out at times. So it's a little bit more gentle. Another thing is the inherent value of things. So having a client that has based a value, oh my gosh, I bought this, I paid money for it, but they might have paid money for it in 1965. So I mean, they've gotten their money for it. So it might be in a pile somewhere where I'm not laughing respectfully because of the situation. But I'm saying once we pull it out of the pile, they look at it and it's like, oh, look at this. And it makes such a wonderful feeling in one's heart. Then it becomes, really difficult. So the maybe pile is a little less and gentler. It's more of a marinade. And then when I come back, we're going to look at marinade. We're going to give it a date. We could put it in a container, put a date on it. Let's do 3 months, 6 months, none. Okay, so that's the way I handle that.
I think Carol. Okay. So Carol, what are some of the long-term physical benefits to decluttering?
Oh my goodness, you all can answer that, I'm sure, right? Health-wise, physical-wise, being able to find what you need when you need it, right? I always think in terms of the future you, right? When the future you is making a grocery list, or when the future you needs to find your will or important papers, right? Not having to go through the stress of frantically searching for things is both physical and emotional. But another physical one that Randy can speak to and Julie too is just being able to move through your house without tripping and being able to access all the closets in your rooms and all of that. Who's next?
I think it's gonna go to Paul, please. Randy.
Okay. I'm going to make this brief, okay? So there are a number of things that are really important. Getting out of a door, getting out of a window. There have been times when I've had to work with the fire department or the Housing Association of Central Austin, HACA, where we're trying to make situations really comfortable for clients. Today, I have a situation where children have been taken out of a home by the court, 7 children, The mother and I have to work on, and the counselor have to work on getting this house to a point where she can get her children back. So these are the situations that happen with health and safety that are so important for the environment. So this is one of the real life situations that, you know, is real life.
So, as we get older, I mean, we always had maybe where are the keys, right? And as we get older, it just gets worse. I know. My anxiety gets high. If I don't have a place, if we don't have places for everything, it's really tough to, you know, have a really good day. There's a study out that productivity that they said typical family who is not organized loses about 200 hours a year just looking for things. And just think those hours that you get back. So for me and my clients, it's a lot about anxiety and being able to reduce that by making sure we have a place for everything.
Okay, next question, Randy, you're gonna be the first one.
Okay.
And we talked a little bit about this already. What are some of the emotional benefits of decluttering? Was there anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, that clutter is visual noise. So for clients to, you know, help cut that down, whether, you know, one has challenges with ADHD or, you know, neurological or biological or physical problems, you know, cutting down on this kind of situation with clutter is really helpful. Things that people don't think about, you know, help them. And another thing is I say to my clients, look at the not horizontal, but vertical spaces. And they are another place where you can really use, you know, for items like how beautiful this is. Now think about all of this being on the floor or being on a table, and you can't use that space. So I would say, think about different spaces that you can use for your beautiful belongings.
Can you say the question?
So it's what are some of the emotional benefits of decluttering?
Like you said, I think we kind of covered that a little bit, but emotional benefits, again, the anxiety of being able to reduce and minimize that, being able to emotionally, I guess, feel that we are, you know, kind of in control of our lives. I think helping, you know, having that lessen that noise, we definitely can feel more control, and we don't have to worry about when we come home, all of that, you know, dread. We want to come home. We can focus on, you know, what we like to do on painting and art and having all those things, you know, nicely organized. We can enjoy the things and the activities that we do and that we like to do.
Another one I always want to think about is the acronym CHAOS, CHAOS, and the acronym stands for Can't Have Anyone Over Syndrome. Right? Yeah.
It's a real one.
Friends or family want to come over and you're like, yeah, maybe not right now, you know? So decluttering and getting a little more organized can really help with your social life and your emotional well-being.
Yeah, I helped a client, she was in rehab for a while, and not rehab like drinking, but rehab, broken hip kind of place. And she was gonna have to go into assisted living, not go home. And so we were preparing her house for sale, and her grandchildren came over and they had not been in the house for over 10 years. So, and that's really a sad way to live, you know, so I think anytime you can make your home look a little bit better and feel proud of it and have people come over, that's always a good thing. Okay, Julie, so where can people take things that are not considered trash? And we do have a list. It is about 3 pages, and we're going to send this list to everybody who signed in, and we have your email. If you don't have your email, then obviously we can't send it to you. So, oh, did you make copies? Oh, cool. Never mind. you. But we will, for the people who are on the webinar, don't worry, we're gonna send to you because we have all your emails. I'm looking at our cute little owl. We should take a picture of that so they know what we're looking at. It looks like a little owl. Hey there. Okay, Julie, tell us about places you can go.
So this is a big one with my clients because I help seniors downsize, and typically we're moving them to a new residence. And these are clients that have been in their home for 30, 40, 50 years. And talk about overwhelming. It's sometimes overwhelming for me when I go in there, but again, I have almost OCD, so I actually enjoy creating, clearing spaces and clearing houses for people. That's therapy for me, actually. So when my clients are there, we walk through again, the tape lady, after we've gone through that long process. It typically takes, 2 or 3 weeks, and with the house of 30 to 40 years of belongings, including an attic and garage. And there's lots of places. I mean, this is an awesome list. This is, I would make sure that I'm sure you're gonna be able to give them a digital one so that they can always have access to it. But another I'd like to highlight on this is the first one. It's called heartening.com or heartening.org. And she started in the last 6 months to the year. She's the founder here in Austin, the local organization, and it is amazing. That is probably the most amazing organization that I've been in contact with. And she not only has her website, has anything that you think you're like, where can I take this? Where can I take my old batteries? Where can I take medical equipment? She has already identified all the places in Austin, other nonprofits or recycling on where to go. And she will actually come and pick it up if you can't do it yourself. So it is an awesome organization. Did you want to say something, Randy?
Yes. After you're done.
Oh, okay, after I'm done. Okay. And I'm just to be quick. So when I go through, we start with a client who's moving perhaps to assisted living or downsizing to a new home. We have lots of resources. I mean, I'm sure all of us do, being in the business, but we have, if you have items of high value, we have auction houses that have global reach. We have estate sale network of people that are, there's the good, bad, and the ugly, like everything else, but we work with high integrity people. We have we can help you sell your items on Marketplace or Craigslist. Then there's always, like I said, the donation is key here. But that's, again, go ahead, question.
No, well, I was just gonna mention, I didn't see on here locally, there's the Lake Travis thrift shop, which is real close. And then also like medicines, you can actually take those to the police department now.
It's
anytime.
on here.
So it's on this-
Yeah, and,
Here, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. I live here in Lakeway as well. And so if you'll do me a favor at the end, just remind me of that and I'll put that into anything here in Lake Travis. But I just wanted to say, and then Carol's going to jump in, for heartening.org. They also have organizations that want things as well. So if you have things, you go on and you see different organizations that are asking for things, that's really wonderful as well. They will pick up in certain areas, so just be aware of that. But it's really wonderful. So if anybody has any other, just let me know and I'll be happy, because that's a great resource as well.
You have a list of places that buy things, so you have more valuable things to dispose of?
So again, we would probably help you with going on Marketplace to sell, or the estate sale route, or auctions. And then the heartening.org, there's actually places, she has like items that they actually will pay for some items like metals. There's certain things, right, on that, but that's just, you have to kind of do a little bit of research. I think there's more than unless you have any of the other information.
So it's so wonderful. It's just so wonderful. Oh, It's just such, oh my gosh, there is such a huge, it's such a wonderful resource. So take some time to go on, but as far as auctions and such, that's something that.
Yeah, I have contacts, so you can always contact me and I've got resources to connect you. The sad thing is, the stuff that you want to sell may not be the value that you hope it will be. And so you have to go through a whole bunch of research to realize that. I've had clients gyrate from auction house to estate sale people to find out that nobody will even come get it for free. So that's the reality. That's the sad part of it. But if you want to do the gyration, I've got contacts. So you can do it.
Well, you know, the weird thing is you watch quarters and you would go, oh my God, I'm gonna get rid of everything. And then you turn around and you watch the, what is it, the PBS thing where they're.
Antique roadshow, yeah.
And you go, oh my God, we're going back in the house.
So you just have an expert, come and they'll tell you the things that are valuable. So we do a whole seminar on this too. It's a great seminar. And we talk about where can you take your stuff, but it's a whole hour and a half talking about it. But it is kind of surprising the things that are selling. So for example, records right now are really popular. So if you have vinyls, it's really whatever the millennials want, because they're the ones who are buying things. I am not buying anything anymore. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. So who are the buyers and do they want your stuff? So that's what you have to look at. Carol, what else you got?
So one,
Oh, no, this is saying also in churches, if you call any church, they'll pick it up also. We've donated to several churches.
oh, that's a good idea,
Yes.
donating to churches and they'll
To
come pick it
churches.
up. often.
Especially like pianos.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
We were just talking about pianos could be something that a church picks up. Pianos and pool tables are two things that give me heartburn as a real estate agent. I'm listing a house right now and they have a pool table. I'm like, this is gonna come back. And yes, go ahead.
Speaking of piano,
Yes,
the inherited one,
yes.
only played when he had too much to drink.
People at home, you're not getting the stories. You need to come live.
Alamo Music out of San Antonio will come and pick it up for free. They will put it in a consignment store, and when the funds are available, they will send you a check. Or if you would prefer, is what we did, we donated it. And then they use those funds to help music students in San Antonio.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Have that in Austin or not?
I'm gonna repeat what you just said. So what's the name of the company?
It's Alamo.
Alamo Music will come and pick up your piano. And then they'll either consign it and give you half or whatever percentage, or you can get the remainder of it and help pay for music lessons for students. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
So wait, they're based in San Antonio, but they'll drive up to Austin to pick up your piano?
You have to take a picture of the piano, you have to take a picture of the, in our case, it's a solo. Yeah, you have to take a
Thank you,
picture
Grant.
of the back of it.
Yeah.
What was that big of a piano?
Okay.
Take a picture of the back of it, maybe lift up the top and take a picture of the inside and then overall, and then if there's any type of serial number or barcode or tag on it, you take a picture of that.
Okay.
So, I mean, the whole process for us, maybe a week, I send it in, they hold that, you know, they can pick it up.
That's great. So you need to send in pictures and take a picture of the serial number and probably other things too. So awesome. Thank you.
Contact them first.
Yes, do not drive your piano anywhere, hoping that you can drop it off in the middle of the night. Okay, Carol, go ahead.
Okay, any other quick questions? I just wanted to say a couple of more things about getting rid of things. So, this is a great resource, this list. Go to heartening.org and just put in anything. Crayons, graduation gowns, electronics, anything. And it'll pop up with, shoot, this is an amazing database. But the other thing that people always want to ask about getting rid of is things out of their garage. I love organizing and cleaning out garages. It's one of my favorite things. It's such a quality of life improvement to be able to park your car in your garage.
Even in July.
Even in July. Oh, yeah. So So, some of the things that people always are like, what do I do with this? Is styrofoam, big chunks of styrofoam, right? When you buy a new electronic or something, or computer or whatever. The Recycle Reuse Center that used to be called Hazardous Waste, now it's Recycle Reuse Center. They have a machine that will melt that styrofoam down so that it doesn't stay in the landfill for centuries, right? Now, you have to make an appointment. You can't just trundle up there with your car full of stuff. You have to make an appointment ahead of time online. But they'll take motor oil and paint and turpentine.
Hazardous material.
Yeah, hazardous materials, all kinds, batteries. I go there regularly because I sort of, from several clients, I accumulate a good amount to fill up my car, and they'll take plastic bags, everything, right? Also, Habitat for Humanity is just down the highway, and so I make a stop at both places, but
Carol, I have a question for you. Do you have to be a resident of the city of Austin?
I think you do.
You have to give them a zip
No,
code.
no.
You got to kind of fake it a little bit.
Yes, you have to give them a,
No, Travis County.
Yeah.
78734. Whoop.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, but
that's
what-
one of our problems.
but it's a good question. What if you live in Round Rock? And I
No, I don't know. No, you can't.
They're pretty lax. I mean, you have to give them a zip code.
you have to give them a zip
Yeah.
code, and
Yeah. No,
they're not gonna,
They don't validate.
they're not
I
gonna,
think 78738, they will. Okay, so,
They don't ask for your driver's license.
okay, I think we.
They do in Lakeway. When you have hazardous pickup here in Lakeway, they ask for your driver's
I think we
license.
need to look at the time, and then we'll ask questions.
Oh, yes, we're gonna hold the questions to the end.
That's
So
fine.
sorry. If we could get back to our normal format. So shall we continue on? One of the resources I've used a lot is this Austin Creative Reuse. Love this place. You can take yarn. You can take any kind of art supply, and then people come and purchase from there. So people who are teachers, they teach Bible school, things like that, they can get all their supplies from there. I love that place. And it makes you feel really good to get to that place. You're making us go out of order. Yes, make sure you book an appointment. Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you. Next question. Do you already know what it is? Let's see. What suggestions do you have for someone that can't decide whether to keep, donate, or sell sentimental belongings? Carol, to you. What suggestions? Can't decide whether to keep, donate, or sell sentimental belongings.
sentimental belongings, I just always encourage people to take a picture of it, because what you're loving and what you're getting from it is the memory, right? And I can get that memory from seeing the picture of the thing that meant a lot to me, but I don't have to have it taking up room in my attic. I have a story about that, but I'm gonna save time and not tell it. If it's really sentimental, you know, find a way to have a picture of it. Doesn't have to be in a fancy scrapbook. Label it so you can find it later, so the future you, right, can find that picture later. Where's that drawing that my 5-year-old grandson made? I labeled it so I can find it.
Yikes, okay. So what is the sentimental feeling? How important is it? What would you do if you didn't have it anymore, right? So that piece of string that my mother gave me, I can't give that away, but what would you do? Like Carol said, what would you do if you didn't have it? I say, take a picture of it, you know? So there are a number of ways to share with our clients how we don't want to say don't, you know, or tell them what to do with it, but just walk down the path of, you know, let client talk about, you know, a little story, but just a little story, because, you know, our time is money. So a little bit, if they need to tell a story, please share it. You know, another thing is write the story. My dad, before he passed, he wrote this beautiful journal for us. And he told the story of our family. He told the story of certain little things that made him feel good, that he left for us, each one of us. And that was beautiful. So we have that. And, you know, that was sentimental to him, and it's sentimental to us. So.
So, two CIA former agents started, you might know about the company, they're women. Did you hear them? Yeah, Artifacts.
Yeah.
So it is an awesome online company for exactly what we're talking about. They, it's a software platform where families can post pictures. And it has access to family members that are in, you know, anybody that can get online, they can write. You can publish the journal that Randy was talking about. And you can put, if you have a picture of the story that Carol talked about at the very beginning, your family can go in and write the story of that picture. Oh, I remember that when I was 10 years old and we did this and this with that picture. So at the end of the day, you have 20, 30, 40 pictures online for your family or friends, whoever you grant access, to have this memorial for the things in your house that you didn't want to give away, but you don't have space to keep them any longer. It is an awesome company, and I'm sure Cindy can get you more information.
You can just go online.
You know.
You can go online and join. And so, yeah, it's web-based.
But it's not spelled artifacts, it's spelled, oh, we can add, oh, is it on there? Oh,
It's here.
okay, I missed it.
Second page?
Video backup plan.
It's just,
On the other
yeah.
side.
The second page?
Yes, ma'am.
In the middle.
Okay, Randy, this is to you. What recommendations do you have for parents that want to pass down their family heirlooms to their adult children who don't want it?
That's you, Randy. Grab your mic.
It's parents, right?
Not parents.
right.
Yeah, parents are trying to give their stuff to the kids.
Uh-oh. I hope somebody else has something else to say in this room. Okay, well, these days, as I know with my client work, the kids like, mid-century, they're like very, clean lines and lots of grays and blacks, whatever. Well, I have
nothing brown.
I have lots of brown and crystal and, oh my God, things they don't want. So, I share with my clients, how about having a really nice conversation about what kids do want while you're alive? And having them put their names underneath what it is or whatever they want to do to let you know, put it in a safe, put it in your will. Just don't have it like the Hatfields and McCoys where they're going to start fighting over stuff. But these days, it's cash is king, money, that's what they want. So it's really about them and what they want, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, go. I don't have anything.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. My family ancestors are from Germany and Ireland. And, there's a big German community in Central Texas. And some of the furniture that people brought over from overseas, some of it was, beautiful, hand carved, and so much love put into it. But the kids, they just don't want it. How many people have heard of Swedish death cleaning? Yeah, Swedish death cleaning, and it sounds awful, but all it means is, like Randy was saying, get your kids together and talk to them right now and your grandkids about what they want now, so that they don't have to deal with all of that stuff after you're gone. Figure it all out now, and you're really doing the future generation a huge favor. Huge.
I just have a quick. So, just a quick story. We were clearing out a house for a woman that was going to assisted living, and her family was helping us. Thank goodness, they all lived in Austin. And she was saying, well, we were going through the things, well, that's gonna go to granddaughter, that's gonna go to my son, and they're going. They're stuck in the middle, and then you have to kind of say, no, I think, that we need to figure another home for it, but. 10,000 people turn 65 every single day in the United States. So that is why when you're trying to sell something, and as Carol already said, and we've already talked about, your kids don't want it. They don't want anything big, heavy and brown. Neither does the auction houses, neither does estate sale. I mean, estate sales, you can probably sell it, but that's why it's hard, when you think, well, okay, antiques, the antique online show, that kind of is a little, they're kind of playing with a lot of stuff, unless it truly is antique. Antique means over 100 years old. It doesn't mean 1960s, 1970s, 1980s. So it does mean 100 years old, but it is tough to getting things sold. I have contact, at the auction house, and 99.9% it's no, I'm sorry, we can't take it. But if it's mid-century, right, they're so picky. So is, all the other consignment shops too. Another story, a quick, and I'll sit down, but we had to do a really quick clearinghouse for a family, and it was a beautiful sectional. I mean, it was modern. It had one little tiny stain. Salvation Army came and they rejected it. It was in great shape. It was, so just, it's not you, it's the market, because 10,000 of us are turning 65 every single day, and it's a glut on the market.
But sadly, another thing is goodwill. I have clients that want to give goodwill, things that are broken, things that have holes in them, things that are filthy, dirty. Goodwill then has to go and pay for that garbage to get picked up. And that's not fair, so really think about what to do, where it needs to go. Now we've left you in a conundrum. I'm sorry, but.
I have some solutions. So one of them would be to go ahead and give away the item now and see the joy in the person's face using it. So if you want to give something to your granddaughter, why not just give it to her now, and then see her with it in her home. Another idea is to go to Etsy, 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 and if you go there, you'll see how people are taking furniture and reusing it. It kind of breaks your heart. Because your beautiful solid wood buffet is now made into a doggy cage. Have you seen those? They're beautiful. So it is a way to get rid of items. If you go to Etsy and you can see how people are reusing it. But the reality is it is a big problem. But those are some of the positives. If we could have a positive. Okay, we're going to switch gears. We're going to start talking about paper. So Julie's going to talk first. When you walk into your home each day, mail is piled up all over the place. What are some tips for handling mail?
Oh, that's okay. I'm so sorry. So this was our conundrum at our house. And this was before I got into organizing, and I was traveling all the time. And I would come home to just a stack of mail, or I'd have to go to the post office to go pick it up because I didn't pick it up or didn't have somebody come and pick it up. But I just kind of, I just kept on, I got a bin for it. Like, okay, come on, we don't need to get a bin for a stack of paper. So one of the things that my husband and I got into practice is that we go to the mailbox, maybe it's not every day, but we open it and we shred it right there. Same day. And if you can't do that, well, then the recycling, so I don't have to go take it out to the recycle bin, or maybe I have a week to think about it. I have a bin that's a really pretty, nice wicker basket in my living room, or you can have wherever else, and it doesn't look bad sitting out, but I put magazines in there, I put all the paper, and if I happen, I know we take it out once a week. So I said, okay, I need to get that back. But once a week, I know that it's all going. It really has helped. I don't have a bin in my kitchen, or I don't have my junk drawer stacked, with all my mail, thinking all those bank statements. I keep on saying they're supposed to be online paperless, but they keep on sending to me anyway. I can just shred them right there, tear them up and put it in the bin. I am not a paper specialist, that's Carol's.
Yes.
That's Carol's thing, but that was just a personal story that really has helped our life in just having a nice bin in the room to be able to put all those magazines you get, all those advertising, and then it goes out. There you go.
Yes, it's so important, having a permanent home. I think of it as having a permanent home for temporary things, right? Not just mail, but packages you need to return to the store, library books to take back to the library. Things that your grandkids have to take back to school. A permanent place where all the mail is, so that you don't have, well, you know, there's some in the kitchen, there's some on the dining room table, I think there's some in the office over there. And that just causes confusion and stress, right? So the other thing I want to say about mail, which I always say, and y'all get so tired of me
I
saying.
love it. I did it myself.
Never get tired of you. Yeah. So there's a credit reporting agency resource called optoutprescreen.com. optoutprescreen.com. And it is the way for you to turn off credit card solicitations. If some of you still get that, or your college age kids or grandkids are probably getting a lot of those. It's run by the credit reporting agencies. And I am here to tell you that it is 100% safe. You have to give them your social security number and your information. Yeah, I know it sounds scary, but it's legitimate. It's very safe and it's free and it works. I've had clients who just had, you know, large Rubbermaid bins full of junk mail. A lot of them credit card solicitations. And the problem with getting credit card solicitations is people could conceivably use them for identity theft. You've all heard of identity theft. Yeah. So you want to turn off that kind of mail that somebody could steal and pose as you. So optoutprescreen.com is free. Now, if you find a website that says, we'll turn off your credit card solicitations and loan applications and all that for a fee, that's a scam. Don't do it, right? Opt-out pre-screen is 100% safe. I stake my entire business reputation on it because I used it many, many years ago and it works. I've used it for my client who had the bins full of now, like, you know, it takes a few months for it to really work, but now a year later, her mail has trickled down to almost nothing, right? So optoutprescreen.com. Yes, you have to give them your social security number, but I am here to tell you that as long as you know, don't leave your computer out at the library with your social security number on it, it's safe. There's also catalog choice for turning off catalogs. I think that's org, catalogchoice.org. Yes. And that's free and that works too. I used to get a ton of catalogs. And you can actually even choose catalogs that you want to get, but mostly it's for turning them off.
We have the opt-out prescreen.com here for consumer credit reporting. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you finished? Yeah. Okay. Here's another thing, because so when you get your credit card statement, and when you get like Carol was talking, when you get these solicitations from credit card companies, you can also decide, and in addition to the opt-out, turn it around and look at it. It has an 800 number and call it up and listen to the prompts. And it will give you the option is that you can get out forever. So as Carol said, you know, it is something that people get scared. Oh my gosh, I'm going to give my social security, but you can get out forever. I hardly get any mail it all because I've done all these different steps. And I share this with my clients and telephone calls as well. And I have clients that are, with spouses that are going and, having problems and having, going into dementia, having these memory problems that pick up the phone and somebody's trying to sell them something and they start talking to that person and oh my gosh. So I have the other person just listen to the calls. And when it's a, pick up and listen to the call, listen to the prompt and do what the prompt says. Because a lot of times it will say either 2 or 9 and listen to that. And that could get you off some of these phone, phone calls, company phone calls. So. What?
I think we're done with that. Okay.
Wait, Carol didn't tell you where she worked. Can you just, is that part of one of these questions? Record retention guidelines. Can you just say what your job was, where you work? Do we have time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is one of our questions.
Yeah,
We're all good.
All right, was that the next question?
Yeah.
Okay, retention guide. Okay, paper retention. So I used to work at the IRS.
Nobody booed or missed.
I know. We used to joke that it was more socially acceptable to say that I work for the CIA or. So I'm pretty conservative about paper retention. And I actually don't like to set down, hard and fast concrete rules because everyone's situation is a little different. And I want you to take the advice of whatever tax professional you use, whether you have a CPA or whatever. In general, yes, you want to keep things for 7 years, but we just heard a story last night from one of our fellow organizers who had gone through her tax returns and gotten rid of everything that she thought was 7 years old. And let's see, it's 2023. She just got a letter about her 2016 state income tax because she's from a different state that has state income tax. And she had just shredded all those things. So yeah, so long story short, I tell people to just be on the safe side. Don't keep everything forever. But tax returns are important. Mortgage papers, marriage certificates, death certificates, things like that. And I would say keep them digitally, right? Because that's a whole thing. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not here to say, yeah, you only need to keep things for 7 years because I don't want to say that.
And I think the IRS can change their mind too about things, so that's.
What about 10 years? It's not big.
10 years is probably fine.
Yeah. We have an online question.
That's perfect for you. Do you know if it's true that we can throw away, shred all income tax returns after we get and are set with Social Security payments?
Ooh. After you get what with Social Security payments?
After you're set with getting them.
Oh. I guess I don't quite understand the question. So once you get set up with Social Security payments, can you
Throw away and shred any income tax returns?
No. I wouldn't, no, I guess I'm not sure why that question comes up. Just because you're getting Social Security payments doesn't mean that you don't have to file taxes anymore. And it doesn't mean that the IRS might not come back and look at your tax returns, which is the whole reason for keeping things different. They're different. Yeah.
We vote, you need to keep them.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You still have to file an income tax return. I've been retired and on Social Security for 13 years. And you got RMDs every year and you got to pay taxes on those. So you got to file a tax return in order to get it refunded.
Right, that's right. You do still need to file tax returns every year, even if you don't owe money.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on. What are some of the paperwork challenges your clients experience? Randy, if you want to start first. Paperwork challenges your clients experience.
That they're made out of paper. I can tell you a story. When I first started my business, I lived in Chicago, and I had a client who lived with his mom. And he called me up. Oh, he lived with his mother and father. And he called me up and he said, I need you to help me with my paper. And I do paper management. And I'm sorry. And he said, and I asked him questions about it. And it sounded, I asked him a lot of questions, and it sounded like, okay, it's a regular paper management situation. So I go there, and the house looks pretty okay, some of it. And then it brings me back into like 2 rooms of the house. And I can't even walk in. The paperwork is to the ceiling. And it's like they're in two rooms. And I said, how do you pay your bills? How do you pay your bills, right? And he said, and what about invitations? You know, and he said, well, he waits until they call him. So this was, I don't know, I started in 2001, it might have been 2003, I don't know. So he'd been saving his paperwork since, I don't know, 1995 or something. And so I said, you know, how do you pay your bills? And I said, how do you plan to pay me?
Where'd you check?
No, I asked for cash. So that was my paper management, and I was like, okay, so anyway.
So Julie, what are some of the paperwork challenges your clients experience?
So I'm not the paper guru, that's you, but so I'm gonna talk more about when I walk in and we talk about their challenges. It's mostly, we start with the most important things, which are where are your taxes, you know, things that are auditable. That's what we talk about. If I'm working with a young family, we're talking about all the schoolwork, all the things your kids, they're all the things that you're getting, if they're not online, then they, you know, because your kids are always bringing home things. So one of the things that I do is speaking with, talking with the taxes. I yes, digital is good, but I'm in that old school, you know, digital age. I worked in tech for 20 years, but I still have all my taxes in a file marked, you know, since 2020. I think maybe it's 20, maybe I did it till 2010. I think I did shred, but on 2020, I have a nice, they're mobile, clear, filing systems. And I have it all nicely labeled. That's what I do for my clients. And it's all nicely labeled, and it has all of your social security. They'll have your titles. It'll have all your taxes in there. And when they look at it, it's just, you know, it's all in chronological order. And it just brings a sense of, you're like, oh, I don't have to worry about an auditor coming. It's and then, you know, key receipts, especially if you have a business, you know, of your own, on having, you know, those receipts. Because that's, in my mind, having a business, even when I didn't have the business, I was always worried about getting audited. And that was, and you don't need that in the back of your head with all the other things that we have to worry about in this world today. So one of the, then with the kids, I mean, you might even think about this for your grandkids. It's so nice to be able to, that's basically their memory box from kindergarten, preschool, all the way to 12th grade. And it's mobile. So you know, once they're gone and they've got their own family, you just go, here's your memory box. So you don't have it all scattered all over the attic. So that's kind of a solution, organizing solution that we do, you know, at Designs by GTV.
I'm just gonna say 2 more things about that. To have a safe where, I mean, we have our most important, our vital records in the safe. And I share that with my clients as well. Also, as Carol had said with CPA, for my business and for our personal, we have a CPA. So our CPA, it's helpful because They have everything digitally, and if we want it in paper, we can have it in paper as well. So that is really, that's a lot of stress that we don't have to have as CPA. We can have it. So it's important that I share that, and there's a difference between fire resistant and fireproof. So just remember that when you're getting a safe, that fire resistant is, so fireproof is what you want to get, all right? Fire resistant is usually the ones that you can run out of the house with. So. That's it. Yeah. What was the question?
Okay, the question is, what are some of the paperwork challenges your clients experience?
Well, I feel like we've covered a lot of them. Not paying bills on time, right? Not being able to find things that you really need right then. Yeah, I feel like we've covered that. I'm trying to think of something more brilliant to say.
I will say this, some people will put important papers in safe deposit box, and while that's good while you're alive, if you pass away and somebody needs to get into the safe deposit box, they need to be on your safe deposit box. So I have worked with many families who all their important stuff's in there, but yet nobody has access to it. So even my daughter, she has a safe deposit box. I went down and I'm on her safe deposit box and she's 35. I'm really proud of her.
Talk about passwords. When
Oh,
somebody
passwords.
dies.
Oh,
Yeah, can I talk about
yes.
that?
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have time?
Yes. Then
Okay.
we'll ask the questions.
Okay, I am a big proponent of using a password manager. Y'all all know what a password manager is?
Tell us.
Okay, so a password manager is a software, companies do this, that is super locked down. There's a bunch of them, the one that I use and my husband use, is called Splash ID, but nobody's ever heard of that because I've had it for 15, 20 years, something like that. And there's lots of other.
I think I have keepers.
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 I have
Yeah.
Aura, AURA,
Or not. You want to pick up, let me just say this real quick. You want to pick a password manager that is really, has been in business a long time. I hesitate about new password managers coming along. Anyway, so the whole point is my husband and I have this huge database of passwords because we have a different password for every single thing. We have a different password for every online store and all of our bank accounts and this, that, and the other, everything. We have like 500 different passwords. How on earth are we going to keep track of that? We don't have to because we use a password manager. So he and I have a master password that we use to get into that on my phone. Because I lock my phone when it's around. Anyway, so one,
make sure you lock your phone.
yeah. So one master password to get into this database, right? And so the point of that is to have safe passwords because you can have total gibberish in there and you don't have to remember it. You don't have to memorize it because it's in there. But also, if I get hit by a truck, who knows? Or something happens to him. The other one can get into the bank accounts and the store accounts and the credit card numbers and all of that stuff. All of our data is locked down, super safe, right? So password managers.
Love it. Okay, we're going to start asking questions. So I'm going to walk around with the microphone, and if you have a question, then we will direct it to our panelists. So we've got one right here.
I actually have two questions. When you were talking about recycling things, hazardous materials. I know that the Lakeway has a hazardous material collection about every 6 months. They do not take fluorescent tubes. They will take CFLs. Do you have a place that takes?
Okay, grab the microphone.
Yes, light bulbs plus. I think I've
They,
seen
they
that.
will take the tubes, not just CFLs.
The tubes that have the green on. No, they won't.
Most of us have, converted everything in our home to LEDs, which save a lot of energy. And so all of my fluorescent tubes have been changed to LED.
Right. So the tubes that have the green on, not the metal on them, those, the batteries plus or the light bulbs plus. I know I took them to my clients. There was one on Burnett, I think.
We have interaction from the audience.
Yes,
Okay,
a lot of the stores are not taking it. They
Right.
will take long ones, and that includes batteries.
Batteries plus.
We called around trying to get rid of some bulbs, and if you take them to Austin Resource Recovery, or whatever they call themselves.
Yeah.
The place that's down off of 71,
Yeah.
they will take them. But you
Yeah.
have to make the appointment.
yeah.
And they'll take long ones, short ones, any of them.
Did you say they wouldn't take me?
They will.
They take Austin Resource.
No, batteries plus.
They don't.
Batteries plus, we called them, they said,
Okay,
and it might have been one batteries plus. they called.
Yeah, because they're all,
And they also, previous to that, they would take them at a price.
yes,
Oh.
yes. I had to pay
Yeah.
for, yes.
Just tell you, so
My second-
everything moves down.
I think Carol's gonna
Oh,
answer.
let me just finish answering your first question. I just took some, long light bulbs to the recycle reuse center. Yeah, the place where you have to make an appointment online. But they took them, they'll take everything. I really cannot think of what they won't take except for styrofoam peanuts because they blow all over the place and they don't want to mess with that. They'll take everything.
Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, second question.
My second question, you were talking about, putting family photos and family stories on iDrive.
We didn't talk about
And
photos.
it's listed here in the computer backup to use iDrive. I'm very skeptical about putting any more information that is already out there on the internet. And iDrive is available to anybody who wants to break into it and steal your information. So I'm a little bit nervous about taking any family information and putting it out there where people can get more information about me because of identity theft,
And it's like
which is
Facebook and all
going on frequently.
social media.
I think photos is a whole nother topic, but yes, I feel your pain. I'm constantly trying to figure out how to organize my photos. I have boxes of photos. I think we'll do a special workshop on photos.
That's a great
So,
idea.
okay, question. Yes, ma'am.
I have a number of subscription services that renew automatically that my husband is totally unaware of because frankly, he wouldn't even be interested. But if I should pass away, how would he know to cancel those?
I think you got it just included in your documents. You have a special document folder where you have your subscriptions and your passwords and things like that. But even like Facebook, turning on Facebook for somebody who's passed away, it is a nightmare to do. Carol, what do you say?
It's so true. It's such a good point. You know, how would your partner or spouse know about all of that stuff? Yeah. We were talking about a book last night. I'm not going to say the title exactly right, but it's something like, what if I get hit by a bus? Right? Yeah.
It's catchy.
I'm not sure that's the exact title, but we could Google it. But yeah, anyway, things like that are, you really need to be thinking about. How is someone going to turn off my Facebook when I'm gone? You know, all of that stuff.
And without a password, you can't do it. If you have a password, you just delete the account, but
Right.
it is a problem. Question.
Any tips on how to deal with a spouse who resists decluttering? I'm really good at it, but
That's a fun one. You can't, because they get mad at you. If you try to declutter their stuff, they get really mad at you, and then you start having marital problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I get these calls all the time from folks that want to declutter and, and then their spouse doesn't want to. And so I have a handout that I sent that's 65 questions that you can use to ask a person, it's a slow process. And having somebody come in and work with you might be the answer for you to start working slowly. It's about working with your belongings, not with their belongings. So it's really about permission. I can't ask my husband, I can't even go in my husband's office well, I can go to his office, but I can't, move, and so it's really about respect and honoring that person's belongings. I mean, I don't want to say anything disparaging about my husband, but it is about what am I allowed to do? So.
Something that has worked for some of my clients is when the spouse sees how much better the other person's life is, like they can grab their keys, they know where their wallet is, so they ask where the batteries are, they walk right there. So if they can kind of see your life lighten and get better, then they're like, well, I want to have a better life too. So, then I know where my saw is and the screwdriver and that hammer.
And that's happened, that's why I suggest you working with a professional organizer. Even though your belongings are organized, have the person come in for you for whatever it is, if you're having a challenge. But if that person doesn't want to, they're not motivated, they're not going to do it.
A mental ego thing, of accepting the fact that these things are part of life. And I agree.
It's the sadness, of the life that he had. So what is he doing now? Maybe he could fill up those spaces with new things that he's doing instead.
Out of town, so I've been cleaning the house around.
Her picture is not on the owl, so nobody knows who this is. We don't want anybody to know. Carol, what were you gonna say?
I just wanted to say real quick, so as organizers, we run into that a lot. And sometimes, once in a while, one of the couple will tell us privately, so he's going out of town. And I really want to get rid of the stuff because he'll never know, right? And I just have to say, ethically, I cannot condone that. I really can't, because organizers don't ever come in and go, oh yeah, let's just throw everything away. You don't need this. Let's get rid of it. We don't. That's not our role. And I can't stand up behind somebody just throwing away. I understand the temptation. I completely do. But I can't be involved. So what I usually say is, okay, you can do that when I'm not here, but I don't want to know about it because it really can cause emotional distress to throw things away without getting people's permission.
And we've got another question here.
I want to go back to furniture. And I've got furniture which is large and probably no one will want. And what do I do? I mean, do I just throw it away or?
Donate. There's lots of, Cindy said, there's a lot of upcycling opportunities. People are refurbishing, refinishing furniture all over. So if you can't sell it, you could say it's for free, and there's like all of these items or all these listings on the sheet that you have. We'll take furniture. Nobody's gonna say, no, I'm not gonna take something unless it's crumbling apart and it's not reused.
No, you actually would be surprised when I have houses with a whole bunch of furniture. We'll move it all out into the garage and then we'll just take pictures of it and put it on Facebook and say free.
Right.
And people are so grateful. I mean, I want to cry sometimes when I see the people coming to get these things and they're like, I have not had a dresser for 5 years. I just moved here. I couldn't afford it. So if you want to give it away for free, you definitely will find somebody. I'm going back to working with a spouse and the spouse being out of town and moving their things while they're gone. And when I work with older adults, sometimes I work with their children and the children think it's a good idea to go and ransack the house and figure out what they want and take it to the new place and then get rid of everything and donate it. And that older adult never transitions well. It is the worst thing that you can do. And oftentimes our adult children, we call them helicopter children, they only have a weekend and they're like, I'm doing it this weekend. Their parent never recovers from that. So I just want to encourage everybody, if you think that's a good idea, it is the worst idea mentally that you can ever do. Take the time. What's shocking is when you start with working with anybody, the first part takes a long time, but at some point something clicks and they're giving away everything. It's almost like they just need somebody to listen to them for a little bit and to understand some of the stories and the meaning behind things. And once they understand that you're going to be giving things to Austin Reuse and that's going to be used for Bible study classes, and they're more than willing. So just, it's the ramp up is kind of slow in the beginning, but all of a sudden something clicks and they're ready to go. Well, we are almost at noon and I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for coming. This is always one of our favorite panels because there's so much information. Thank you, panelists. They are just a plethora of information. We have their business cards back here. We hope that you will come and get information from them and give them a call. And got a comment back here.
That's kind of what I was thinking, is how the contract services started.
Thank you. All their info is right here. It's typically, I think, per hour. What's that?
It's on the bottom.
Oh, it's on the bottom of the sheet too. But yes, please come get their contact info. We would love for you to connect with them. Thank you for coming. We'll see you next month. Please fill out the eval that helps us to make better programming for you. And thank you.